Hey everyone, it's me again, 2 weeks out from my surgery, and I'm finally starting to feel like a human again, so I thought I would just take you along with me today. I'm just gonna go to the store and waste time, do a little retail therapy, and then get coffee to bring back home and do some writing. So yeah, come along with me. Alright, so I actually didn't get that much at the store. I thought I would be doing a lot more shopping, especially because all the Halloween stuff is out, but I didn't. I went there because there was a Dunkin' Donuts in there, but I also needed to pick up some like powdered sugar for some baking I'm going to do, and we needed ranch dressing, so I figured I'd just grab it while I was there, and then I just was like, yeah, I don't want any of this stuff. I got candy for us, not even for Halloween, just for us. And I found a cute Halloween themed like Pikachu t-shirt. It is from the kids section, but it's like an XL, so I'm hoping I can squeeze my chubby ass into it, because why don't they make Halloween themed Pikachu shirts in the adult section? Like, come on. So yeah, I went to Dunkin', got me a nice iced latte. I also got my partner, it's so stupid because it's probably just ridiculous to other people. I got him a Philadelphia Eagles themed donut because before I met him, I couldn't care less about football, but he's a big football person. He's not the toxic kind of dude bro that will punch like the TV if his team loses. Thankfully, I would not be with him if he was. But he just loves football. It's his like one like special interest. He loves it. So obviously I started watching it with him, and I wouldn't call myself a football fan, but I definitely became an Eagles fan because that's his team. That's his like, you know, he's a ride or die Eagles fan. So I became an Eagles fan too. But where we lived before, it was like Ravens territory because the Baltimore Ravens were, you know, the home team basically. And so like if you went to like stores or anything, it was always just Ravens stuff. But like a lot of the stores we end up going to are in Delaware because that's just how far west in Maryland that we now are. And Delaware doesn't have a football team. So for some reason, I'm not complaining, the Eagles are a pretty big team in Delaware. So like we can go into stores now and find Eagles merchandise. And like I said, at the friggin' Dunkin' Donuts, instead of a Baltimore Ravens donut, I can now get an Eagles donut. So I picked him up an Eagles donut, and he probably won't be anywhere near as excited as I am, because as much as like he loves the Eagles, I am the silly, corny one of the two of us. But I was excited that I could get it for him, you know, because I'm a dork. So yeah, this vlog is going to be kind of an update. Sorry, I went out the line. That was my car. Kind of a little update about what's going on with me. And yeah, so I am 2 weeks out from my surgery. It is Friday, October 13th. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. And I had my second post-op appointment on Wednesday, and I'm healing. He took all the stitches out that, you know, had been left in, and I'm healing. He wants me to continue to wear this compression garment that I have to combat the swelling. If you don't know, like I said, on my Instagram, I had surgery on both of my arms, and I'm driving. I'm finally able to drive again and do things again. I'm going back to work next Wednesday, so I will have been in recovery for basically 3 full weeks, which is cool. I should be perfectly fine next Wednesday when I do go back to work. I have been debating with myself about whether or not I want to share with people what my surgery was for, because, you know, when I say surgery or even procedure, a lot of people were assuming that I have some sort of medical condition, or that, you know, I was injured and I needed surgery to get better. And I feel bad because the surgery that I got was not a necessary surgery. It was an elective surgery for all intents and purposes. Sorry, I have to look for cats when I'm pulling into my driveway because we have so many stray cats around here. So give me 2 seconds. Oh Jesus, there's a cat. One of the ones that doesn't let us pet him, and he just, you know, bolts. But yeah, so I've been debating because obviously you guys don't need to know what my surgery was. It's not anyone's business but mine, basically. But at the same time, I do like to be transparent with you guys, and relatable, and, you know, I just like to share what's going on. This is my channel, this is my life. I like to be honest and upfront about the things that I'm going through. And this surgery was something that I had wanted for a long, long time, and it is very important to me, and, you know, I'm very excited about it. So I want to share, but at the same time, I guess I'm almost like afraid. So yeah, I guess this is just me deciding to share it. I won't go into like a shit ton of detail, but I got what is called, in technical terms, a bilateral brachioplasty, which is basically just to say that I got an arm lift on both of my arms, or to put it in even simpler terms, I got skin removal surgery on my arms, and a little bit of liposuction was included because I had fatty deposits in my arms, and really my doctor just wanted to get them out of the way to make the skin removal easier. I don't want to ramble and go into my, you know, past with my bullying and everything, but I'm a chubby person. I used to be fat. Side note, I don't think fat is a bad word, so it's the word I used to describe myself when I was fat. I don't like overweight, bigger. I don't like obese. That sounds disgusting. You know, people are very venomous when they say the word obese. So I just use the word fat. I was fat. And my whole life I was fat, and like I played outside when I was a kid, but mostly I'm a computer girl. I like video games, and of course reading and writing were my number one hobby when I was younger, and still now, obviously. So I didn't get a lot of like workout for my arms when I was younger, and I had really big flabby arms. And I don't have any pictures, or else I would show you, because obviously I wore long sleeves all the time. I went out of my way to hide my arms. You know, 90-degree weather and I would be wearing a hoodie because I didn't want to show my arms. I couldn't even wear a t-shirt without wanting to set myself on fire because of, you know, the bottom of my arm, like upper arm, that would stick out of my sleeve. So long story short, my arms were my biggest insecurity. They were the bane of my existence, and this summer was the hottest summer on record for my state, and I still found myself throwing on a hoodie just to run down the street to, you know, the farm to pick up some like produce or something, because I didn't want people to see my arms. And I thought, enough's enough. And so I went and had a consultation with a plastic surgeon, and after some time and after a lot of money spent, I got my surgery. And I was afraid to share because, you know, women are shit on for everything, but women are especially shit on for things that are considered conceited or vain. And plastic surgery is definitely one of those things where when you tell somebody that you had plastic surgery or something, you get this look like they're judging you because, oh, you're one of those girls. Like, and it's like, yeah, I am one of those girls that was conditioned to hate my body to the point where I wanted to unalive myself. And I had the money to do something about it, and I did. So yeah, I hated my arms, and so I got surgery. And like I said, I don't have any like before and after pictures because I didn't want any, but I will say the difference is noticeable. And my doctor, he measured like 9 inches. Like my arms were 9 inches from here down to the bottom of my wing. So I think it was well earned, and I don't regret it. That is to say, I don't regret it. And I'm just ready to move the hell on. So yeah, for 2 weeks I pretty much couldn't do a lot. Like I couldn't even really read because it was just uncomfortable to hold a book and turn pages and stuff. We still had 2 weddings that we had to go to, so that was an event, but we did it, we had fun, you know, we managed. And I will say my partner just knocked it out of the park. He had to take care of me essentially for 2 weeks, as well as take care of the house and the cats and the yard. We pretty much divide things 50-50, but he kind of had to take on everything. And then he also had to help me like shower and keep me medicated. And if ever I thought he didn't love me, all of that is out the window now because he really showed me how much he cares about me, and I'm super appreciative, and I will never be able to repay him. So I just got home from Walmart, obviously. This is my yard. That's our shed. And I'm gonna go inside and put the stuff away. And then I'm going to actually go up to my office and write a little bit. So before I do, I thought it important to tell you guys that I am doing NaNoWriMo. Of course, obviously, how could I not? I love NaNoWriMo. I'm actually going to be working on 2 projects this year because I want to work on Pine Hollow Book 1, the reboot, but the thing is, my goal for that story is really only like 25,000 words, 30,000 words max, because it is a short erotic romance. Again, like I mentioned in my last video, like a comparable author to what I want to write would be Shaw Hart or Olivia T. Turner, Cameron Hart, even Hope Ford, I want to say. But let me say, like, I hope she never ever finds my channel. I'm not really a big fan of Hope Ford, so if you look her up and you read it and you're like, April, what's wrong with you? I personally don't really care much for her writing style, and a lot of her stories feel very samey and interchangeable, but I feel like I can't not mention her because I feel like Hope Ford is kind of one of the pioneers of short erotic romance, and it would just be disrespectful to not bring her up because she has a shit ton of books, and she actually wrote a how-to book almost on writing short erotic romance, and it's a little outdated now, but I definitely have read it and appreciated it for what it is. So yeah, when I say short erotic romance, it's just quick fiction that's insta-love and very spicy for people who don't have a lot of time to get into like a fully fledged novel with, you know, an external plot and subplots and stuff like that. They just want to get the romantic relationship and spice. I have simplified the plot for Pine Hollow Book 1. I'm going to cut out a lot of like subplot and character, like side character stuff, because that's not what's important to Poppy and Jackson's story. And so I'm aiming for, like I said, 30,000 words max on that story, and it's going to be a simplified, spicy insta-love story, and I'm excited to write it for NaNoWriMo. However, obviously, the goal for NaNoWriMo is 50,000 words, so even if and when I finish this story, I will not win NaNoWriMo with it. So after I finish this story, I am then going to jump into working on my young adult vampire hunter story, which I mentioned was like the working title was Forsaken, and I've split it into like a trilogy, and I'm working on book 1. Like I have a 0 draft, I have it all plotted out. So I'm going to jump into that for the back end of November, and, you know, to hit my 50,000 word goal. And I'm excited. I've never done 2 stories in the same NaNoWriMo event. Usually I'm very excited to just have one story and work on one story, but it just wasn't going to be conducive to what I needed. But so that leaves what I'm going to use the rest of October for, because I have both of these stories 100% plotted out already. I am using Dabble. I might show you guys my Dabble maybe potentially in the future, because I actually really like it. I tried to use it a while back and didn't like it, but I'm trying it again and I'm finding it super helpful. So I actually have, like I said, these 2 stories plotted out chapter by chapter and scene by scene, and it's like a full story, and I'm excited, but there's not really much more I need to do for like Preptober work. So I'm actually going to work on a new short romance, short erotic romance, shorter than Pine Hollow, because I mentioned in my last video that I have published through KDP under a secret pen name, short spicy stories, and I published like 6 of them, and I'm not making a lot of money, but I am making a little bit of money. I think I made $20 in September, and I'm already at $20 for October. So like I said, it's not a lot of money, but people are reading these stories, so I do want to keep producing short erotic romance under that pen name. I'm not sure if that will be the pen name I use for Pine Hollow or if I will get another separate pen name. It depends on the quality, I guess, and how I feel about Pine Hollow versus the short smut that I'm writing. You know, we'll see. I'm not that proud of these stories. They were kind of like an experiment and me kind of getting a kink out of my system. So you guys might never find out about them, or you might, you know, I might come back, you know, a few videos from now and announce it. So I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is I have a very vague idea for a short erotic romance that I want to kind of plot out and start writing potentially. So that's what I'm going to do now. Go in with my nice iced latte, put away the few meager things I bought at Walmart, and go upstairs and start plotting. And I'm very excited to be writing again. For these past 2 weeks, I wasn't able to do anything. I couldn't sit at my desk and type or anything, so I couldn't write. I couldn't read because I couldn't hold a book up because it hurt my arms. And I couldn't even really play a video game because it hurt to hold my arms close together to hold like a controller. Or I couldn't play on my computer because it still involved, you know, being at a keyboard. So I have literally just been like beached on the couch watching YouTube videos. But then I stopped watching YouTube videos because I would turn on like an AuthorTube video and all I wanted to do was write, and I couldn't, and it was the worst. That was the worst part of recovery. It wasn't the pain, the drowsiness from my medication, the freaking how inhuman I felt because I couldn't shower every day by myself at that. It was the fact that I could not write and all I wanted to do was write. So I'm super excited to go up and write, although I will say I'm also a little nervous because I haven't done it in a while. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go upstairs and I will show you guys, I guess, a little bit of my process on these short erotic romance stories. God, y'all, it actually fits. You can see my muffin top, but when I'm wearing leggings, it won't matter. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Okay, so I stopped so I could eat something. Also, I'm sorry about all the noise. They're like building a new house on this street, so it's kind of loud and we get a lot of trucks going by. Kind of like Ludlow, Maine in Pet Cemetery. It's just like constant big trucks going by. Like it was like one thing my partner and I both like said to each other when we first moved in was like, oh, better keep an eye on Gage. We don't even have a kid, obviously, but I do plan on eventually getting like a little microphone, maybe like a lapel mic or something, just so that I can actually talk and not try to pump up the volume in iMovie so that you guys can hear me. But until I get something like that, please just bear with me. I wanted to write, like I mentioned, another short erotic romance. So I was brainstorming. The thing with short erotic romances that you kind of have to come to terms with is that, well, I guess in terms of being a creative in general, you have to come to terms with the fact that no idea is unique. You know, even with movies and TV shows, it's like you see similar plots. You know, if you read any book on writing, you'll always see the author say something like, oh, you know, give 3 authors the same prompt, the same general idea, and you will have 3 different stories, even though they all started from the same idea. Especially in short erotic romance, if you go and you look on Amazon, you will just find countless stories under certain tropes. Like right now, like mafia men is a big trend. Personally, I'm not into that, so I can't speak to it, I can't write it, it's just not my thing, which is okay. But also they like bikers, especially in short erotic romance. I mentioned Hope Ford earlier, like her entire catalog is basically bikers. And I think she recently started branching out, but when she first got started, it looks like it was all biker related. Cowboys, mountain men, you know, that kind of thing. Short erotic romance, you don't worry about trying to come up with the freshest, most unique idea out there. Tropes are tropes for a reason because people like those tropes. Just gotta get that out the way. So what I wanted to work on is a vampire romance. So my basic idea is just that my main character, obviously I've not named her yet, but she is going to be kind of a reincarnated version of this vampire's mate, his lover. She is the reincarnated version, and he has spent like 100 some odd years or so looking for her again. So like I said, I have not named my characters yet. I have not put faces to them because I'm the kind of person I like to look up either actors or models or something to just so I can perfectly envision my characters. Haven't done that yet, but really I just wanted to talk about how I'm going to be doing this today. So I have this. This is not mine. This is from like How to Write Short Romance by Nell Alexander, and she kind of broke it down. Like here, it's like a beat sheet basically. The thing I always have to try and kind of wrap my head around is like she set up this framework, she called it, and as you can see it goes from like a prologue to an epilogue with 8 chapters in between. But like when you look up her stories, you know, they don't adhere to, you know, it's not hard and fast rules. Like it's just a guide, like she said, a framework that you can work from. You don't even have to use obviously like a prologue, but I am a very visual person, so it helps to have this kind of laid out, because she even went so far as to break down word count per beat, per chapters basically. So I'm going to be using this framework to plot out and eventually write this story. Because I know I'm an overwriter and I just tend to ramble, I'm going to aim for the 20,000 words. So I'm going to start. And first things first, I'm going to research some names, put together a list of names, name my characters, and also put faces to my characters. So that is what I'm going to work on now. So 10 minutes later, I have named my characters. So now I'm ready to kind of plot it out, and that's kind of exciting. So normally I do my plotting on paper, but I think what I'm going to do instead, because like I mentioned, I'm using Dabble, the Dabble software. So I think what I'm actually going to do, I am going to go into Dabble and I'm going to create chapters. I'm going to create from the prologue to the epilogue. You know, if I use them, cool. If I don't, I can just get rid of them. And then I'm going to create scenes for each beat. So I'm going to create those, and maybe even at the top of each one, I'll put my like suggested, projected word count, going for the 20,000 version. After I get my scenes separated by beat, I think then I'll go in and write a blurb per scene about what is going to happen in that scene and have myself like a little zero draft to work from. I think that's what I'm going to do. I got it all set up and it's pretty cool, I think, personally. So you can, on Dabble, you can look at like your little scene cards, but basically I went in like for chapter 5, you can see I created 2 different scenes. I put like the word count, like the suggested word count for each beat, as well as what the beat was. And you can see it here, like kind of, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty handy, I personally think. All that's really left is I am going to be going beat by beat, scene by scene, and plotting out this story. It is 12:39 at the moment. I'm going to want to eat again soon because what I ate earlier was really small and I'm a hungry girl. I guess I will actually, excuse me, set myself a little timer and work on this for like 25 minutes or so, and then I'll take a break to eat. It is a short story, so I should be able to accomplish a lot in 25 minutes. So let's go. Okay, so I did do a 25-minute sprint, but then when I got down to like 17 minutes, my partner got home and we had lunch together and he just headed out again to finish his work. I'm going to jump back into my sprint. I have 17 minutes and 30 seconds left on my timer, and I did not get very far because I was kind of making it up as I went and I wasn't sure what I wanted my female main character to do for a living, so I had to like kind of brainstorm that on the fly. So I'm still on chapter 1, but 17 minutes, let's see what I can do, I guess. And from my office, you can see the bed in the bedroom. And my sweet little Khaleesi. Okay, so I finished my sprint and I did get a lot more done than I thought I would. So I'm currently plotting out the falling in love beat, which is the second beat in chapter 5. After this, I would have 3 chapters plus the epilogue, basically. So a lot farther. Once I got past the initial setup and figuring out how the meet cute was going to go, I am now getting to the dark moment soon, and you know, it can't be too dramatic because it has to be something that is very easily resolved in a short story. So I'm kind of brainstorming what that is going to look like. For the most part, I like this story. I think it'll be a simple story to write. I'm still kind of nervous to start it, but I'm enjoying what I have so far. And yeah, I think this next sprint, I will definitely finish outlining this. And I'm feeling good, honestly. Okay, so I finished. I actually didn't even finish with my sprint. I had about 15 minutes left in my sprint, but I finished my outline, so there's no reason to keep going, right? Also, the Pomodoro timer I'm using, it's called like Kitty Pomodoro. Pomodoro Kitty. When the timer's up, it meows at you, and probably not the best sound for me with all my cats. I kept looking around every time it would happen, like for my cats, or thinking it was an outdoor cat meowing at the window or something. But yeah, so I finished my outline, and I'm actually pretty happy with it for a short story. Like I said, it has to be, you know, simplified. There isn't a lot of external drama to drive the story and the dark moment and stuff, because it needs to be something that can be tied up and resolved fairly quickly. But I'm actually pretty happy with it. So the outline is 1,608 words, 1,608. And for now, I do have a prologue planned, but that might be something I take out after I write it, you know, if it just doesn't add anything to the story. So yeah, I am honestly just feeling really good about this. It's good to be writing again. It is good to be being creative again. And I'm pleased with this vlog. I know when it first started, I really wanted to take you into the store with me earlier, but I am awkward as hell and I get really anxious in public. So when I was in a crowd at Walmart, there was no way I was pulling my phone out, but thanks for coming along with me in spirit, I guess. So yeah, I am going to take a break from writing right now, and I'm going to get all this footage uploaded and edit it, and I'm going to get this vlog up as soon as possible for you guys. And you know, I vaguely talked about NaNoWriMo and my plans for it, but maybe I'll make a separate video going more into detail about my 2 projects and what they're about, because I've kept it sort of cryptic, I guess, for no real reason. I just didn't want to ramble too much. And most of you have been here for the creation and process of Pine Hollow, so it's not like I really need to go into a lot of detail for that one. But maybe I'll make another video just as an introduction to my 2 projects. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to get off of here. It is 2:30 and my day is just about over, I guess. My partner will be home soon and we're going to be doing dinner and, you know, gotta find something to watch. It's Friday the 13th, so I'm that kind of nerd who thinks we should probably just watch the original Friday the 13th, maybe even part 2 with it, because I know Jason Voorhees is like a horror icon, but I really only think part 1 was the good one, and part 2, I haven't seen it often, but from what I remember, it was an okay one. Truck. I do also want to watch Trick or Treat eventually, because that is my favorite Halloween movie, so I have to try and fit that in. Yeah, so I have to edit this video and figure out what the hell I'm doing with the rest of my day. So thank you for watching this. Thanks for coming along with me on my first real productive day since my surgery. I'm excited to get back out there and yeah, I'm excited to post more vlogs. So I will see you in my next vlog. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that fun stuff down below, and I will see you then.